Hello, everyone. Very happy to be here today. And first, I've got a question for you. Have you ever heard a little voice saying, "Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, again, I'm messed up." Or another voice, perhaps, who said, "Why is it that I need to control everything? Why don't people do the right things right away?" Another voice which could say, "Why is life happening to me? Why are people so bad with me? Circumstances, everything." Or, "Oh, why did I say yes to this person now? Why did I say yes? I don't want to do that, actually." If anybody has ever had one of these thoughts, please raise your hands. Thank you for your honesty. So today, I'm going to talk about these saboteurs, which actually are these thoughts. These are these programs which run on autopilots in our minds. But this is not you. These are programs which come from a very early age in your life. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what are these saboteurs and how can we shift into our best version of ourselves, our sage mode, where we get fully empowered. So what we'll discover, what these saboteurs are, what are the costs, what's the impact on your life of these saboteurs in terms of time wasting, in terms of relationship, in terms of performance, in terms of well-being. We'll see how to identify your top saboteurs, and we'll see how to really reset to get to your sage mode, which is really where you want to have the best life you can. So most achievers, they are run by these mental programs. They run on autopilot. You can't, and they come from your subconscious mind, which controls like 95% of your thoughts. These patterns, where do they come from? They come from your childhood. The saboteurs, they are mechanisms which are based on our strength. When we're babies, we are completely in the hands of our parents and family, etc. So we really, depending on how we perceive our environment, we develop this strength, which is great. But afterwards, what happens is this strength, we abuse and overuse them. And this is when it starts becoming complicated. Remember, you are not weak, you are not lazy. Sometimes we think, "Oh, I'm not good." No, this is really images we make of ourselves. And we are not our thoughts. We are really the observer of our thoughts. Very important that. So, these saboteurs, what do? They create stress, anxiety, guilt, shame. Really, they have this really difficult impact on our lives. They hijack our strengths, and then they turn them into weaknesses. Now, we are going to go quickly through what the saboteurs are. This is perhaps could be a discovery and sometimes a wake-up call. So our biggest saboteurs, or our chief saboteurs, is called the judge. The judge, we all have it. What does it mean? We judge first ourselves. "Oh, I messed up, I'm not good." Really, we're tough with ourselves. But then we judge others. And judging, it's about looking at the negative in people. It's like, right, "Oh, that's gone wrong," etc. And that we judge as well circumstances. So we all have that, right? But now, this judge has accomplices. And this is these are the various ones which are there. I'll go quickly through them, and then you'll say afterwards if you recognize yourself in them. I can tell you the ones I'm recognizing in quite a few of those because we have a combination of them. The avoider. Avoider is somebody really, they don't want conflicts. They don't want difficult conversations with others. And we lie to ourselves, we think, but we don't want to upset people, right? And we don't have it. So, but what happens is we are being drained. We think, why didn't I have this conversation? Does anybody relate to that? I can tell you I do. Right? Thank you for your honesty. Controller, saboteur. Controller is this voice which tells, oh, you know, if I don't control everything, it's not going to be well done. So, and we control everything and everybody and every action. This comes sometimes from our childhood. In our childhood, perhaps as a baby, we felt controlled, and subconsciously we think, never again, I'm not going to let anybody. So, in order not to be controlled, we control others. Right. Of course, it means that we have abilities to do things. But what happens is when we do that, do people want to work with us? No. Okay, this is your way, fine. But afterwards, we make mistakes. It's your problem, you see? And it gets draining because we think, how can't people work, correctly? So now, afterwards, we've got the hypervigilant, and this was definitely one of mine, right? Hypervigilant is, being on the lookout for danger. Oh, what can happen? What's the worst things? And very often, it comes from childhood, from me, I know, from my parents. And so there are good things. You are vigilant, so you look out, and you're not going to do things which are, which really where you take risks. But then you're always stressed. You're always looking for things. And then even in your relationship with others, it makes it difficult because people think, well, why are you afraid? So, I don't know, does it ring a bell to anybody? A hypervigilant in this room? No one is hypervigilant? Good. Oh, yes. Right. Pleaser, the pleaser saboteur. We want to please everybody. We say yes, but why do we do that? Because subconsciously, we're looking for attention. We're looking for affection from others. We're looking for something. And what happens is, when we don't receive it, we feel frustrated. Oh, I'm doing so much for these people, and I'm not receiving anything. And then we're getting into burnout and situations like that. When we say always yes to others, we say no to ourselves. It's very important, just sometimes about boundaries, keep our boundaries. How can we live on our terms? We've got the victim saboteur. The victim saboteur is really someone who says, oh, life is happening to me. They're running very high on emotions. There are people who understand the feelings, but what happens is they always complain about everything. They think they are going to attract affection, attention from others, but actually it's not the case. People are drained. People are getting away from them because it's, and what people are getting really is pity, So very important to understand that. Then we've got the restless. Restless saboteur is, always on the lookout for new adventures. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try a new experience. I'm going to start a new program. So what happens is there are people with a lot of energy, very dynamic. But they start something, and I've done a lot of that, I have to say, and then you don't finish it. And then it's another thing, and what's the next shiny object? But what happens is when you do that, you are not in the present moment. You're just always looking into the future. So, for instance, in terms of relationship with others, it's draining because, you are with people, but you are not with people. They said, can you be with me now? So, very important to realize that sometimes you've got to be in the present moment, to focus on one area, and this is where growth is going to come from. Stickler, again, it's one I really know well. Stickler is perfectionism, right? It's about wanting organization, everything perfect, order in your life. I remember when I was much younger, I thought, it was when people were asking, what's your downside? I said perfectionist, but in my head I was thinking, it's a great thing. Now I realize that it was not, because you are doing things, sometimes it's for kind of self-validation, and you've got this attention to the detail, which means that actually you are missing the big picture and what's important. And it's draining for ourselves, it's draining for others as well, and it's a big waste of time and energy. So if there's one I really would urge anybody to look into is, you've got to deal with this one, you know. And one way to deal with it, I'll just give you a tip right now, is that when you've got 80% already of what you need to take action, just take action. Because you see, you're never going to go to the 100%. So, and what's very important is actually, I used to think that clarity would lead to great actions. It's the other way around. It's taking action even if you don't know everything, because we never actually. But this is going to give us the clarity and the confidence. Does anybody resonate with just what I said now? Right, thank you. We've got the hyper-rational. Hyper-rational is somebody who is very logical, but everything is about facts and figures. And okay, it's great analytical mind, for instance. Oh, okay. And but we disregard the feelings of other people. So sometimes, yeah, we can have the facts, but we look as what? Arrogant, distant, cold. So very important just to realize it's. And the last one is, last but not least, hyperachievers. And I guess there might be quite a few hyperachievers in this room. And I was, one of them as well, or perhaps I am. But it's about really going to the next goal. Oh, I'll be happy when I reach that, when I reach this turnover, when I have this customer, when I've got all that. And we are dynamic and we take action, we do a lot of things. But what happens is, we reach that. And then happiness is not there. Well, yeah, we have a short moment. Yeah, it's great, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, one day. But afterwards, we still feel empty there. Why? Because in hyperachievers, they seek actually validations from others. And very often, again, it comes from childhood, where you think that love is conditional, that attention is conditional. And again, we experience this as babies, and then afterwards, this is what we do that. So I hope this was helpful in this. So, for instance, quickly, you see, controller, for instance, again, you turn your strengths into weaknesses, confidence into control, or the pleasers, kindness into burnout, etc. All right? So in terms of what I just mentioned, just think, what came to mind in terms of these saboteurs? Did something surprise you? And afterwards, at the end, I'll give you the possibility to take a test where you'll be able to really to assess what your saboteurs are. So, just quickly. So basically, just to understand, these saboteurs, they have really bad influences on 3 areas in your life. The first is performance. It means it can delay your performance. You procrastinate. You can have burnout, indecision, right? So the second area, it's about relationship. It's about people, trust issues with people. It's about people feeling controlled. So again, it can have very damaging consequences on your relationship. And the last one is your well-being. Well-being, it's physical and it's emotional. You have stress, you have anxiety. We talked a lot about this, and and this is really, how can we get out of that? So these are some sayings. You see, a hyperachiever saying, I'll always relax after my next goal. Pleaser says, I want to please everybody. And again, you know that it's not happening there. So now the good news is how to turn into your sage mode. You see, all these saboteurs, they live in the left part of your brain. Now there's a right part of your brain which has more, where you have the clarity, the confidence. And this is where you can do the things, again, in your presentation, where we have very similar things, the green and the red area. So what about if we started seeing challenges as gifts and opportunities? What about if we respond with wisdom instead of fear? What about if we act with clarity and we don't act with pressure? And we create. So imagine that this voice was your driver. So I'll go quickly over what are the 5 important powers in terms of the sage. Empathize, Empathize is really when you have access to compassion. It's about love. It's about practicing gratitude. It's about really being comfortable with yourself. When you explore, instead of looking at something as a challenge, you say, oh, why is it in my movie? Why do I have that? What can I learn from that? And you say it from really your inner self. Innovate. It's about thinking. It's about using your intuition. It's about using your creativity. Navigate. Navigate is very important. Is whatever you do in life, it's got to be aligned with who you are, really with the deepest sense of yourself. Imagine your 80 years old version. What would they advise you? And when we know that you are aligned, this is when you really can progress. And the last step is activate. Activate is when you take decisive actions with clarity, with confidence, where you are absolutely unshakable. I'm going just to go quickly. So what is really mental fitness? Mental fitness is the ability to shift from the saboteur to sage in a moment. And what you do like little exercises. It's like physical muscles. You train them, because the more you train them, the more you are going to work on that. So I'm just going to ask you, I'm just going to do a little exercise before we finish. Can I ask you to close your eyes for 1 second and just, be very relaxed, have your seat, be well seated on your chair, have your feet well, open your arms, and take a big, deep breath. Inhale from your nose, on count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently exhale on count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale from your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'd like you to wrap your two fingertips of one of your hands. Wrap them together with a lot of attention, so that you can feel the ridges of your fingers. Feel the sensation. Just rub them very, very gently. Let go of your thoughts. Concentrate on that. And now what I'd like you to do is rub your 5 fingertips of one hand against the 5 fingertips of the other hand, and let it go down to the palm of this other hand. So let's slide these fingertips to the palm of the other hand, gently, and then just do it again, but on the other way around. Just feel the feeling, feel the sensation, feel how does it feel in your body, and repeat this action, just being concentrated on that. Just be in the moment. See your body and your chest going up and down and up. Listen to your heart. Listen to your body. And just to it. And what I'd like you to do now is try to focus on what is the furthest sound you can hear, the furthest sounds away. Right, and feel, how does it feel? Feel your body relaxing, and your stomach and your chest rising and glowing. And now, listen to the closest sound. What's the closest sounds here? Is it my voice? Is it somebody breathing? So, feel these sensations, and when you are ready, please come back to this room and open your eyes. And you see, this was just, I don't know, how does it feel? How do you feel now after this just 2-3 minutes which we spent together? You see, this is called a PQ rep. A PQ rep, it comes from positive intelligence. This is this program there. And this is really, it's about being grounded. It's about whenever you've got a negative thought, you just relax. And then there are many of these exercises. We've got a wonderful app there, and I'm doing it every day, and Elena as well. And we're in this program there. So just want to feel this is how what we can really make big changes. You see, imagine for 1 second if you could shut down the negative self-talk. If you could lead with clarity and confidence, how would it feel? Just really being relaxed, being yourself, being, time with your family. If you can speak without guilt or fear, if you can let go of overthinking. You see, letting go, it's one of my biggest lessons. I'm really letting go a lot. I used to be a big perfectionist, so I learned that. So thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to be with you. And remember, this is your... Thank you so much. This is your mental reset moment. Claim it. I can tell you, when I did this program, it changed my life 180 degrees. It's why I'm very passionate about this. Thank you so much.